record, and you should see it recording. Yeah. Go ahead, man. Take the wheel.
Okay, how do I do this?
Oh, I'll stop share, and then you go ahead and.
All right, I see it. I see it. Great. Let's do this. Can everybody see that?
It says your screen should be. Cejay has started sharing the screen. Yeah.
Okay, can everyone see this?
No, I can't. I just see a dark screen.
Can everyone see this? Let me know if you guys can see my chart.
No, it's like still in black.
No,
Oh,
I get
yeah.
that.
Now we see it. Now we see it.
Yeah, can you just
Do you want me to
guys just do me a favor? Can you mute unless you have questions? So because there's too much noise. Yes, just mute yourself unless you have questions. Just unmute me, speak, and in that way I can focus more because there's so much noise in the back. Great. I'm gonna start again. Before we start, I'm gonna, if everyone can see the crosses, just give me a thumbs up or type in yes on your chart so I know everyone is seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. Yep. Yes. Yeah. Great. So everyone's seeing the crosses. Can everyone see the arrows? Yes. Just type in yes or Y for short. Can everyone see the dot above? Good. And can you also see the oscillator vertex below? Perfect. Okay, we're good to go. We're good to go. Cool. This is how this technique works. This strategy, like I've said before, it is 100% only if you trade it properly, you obey the rules. It's 100%. The first thing you will need to do when you start your day, you don't go to any other time frame but the daily, because the daily will give you a good picture of what the market is going to be in the future. So what I do, I'll go on the daily. Just wait for it to pop up. One daily chart. This is what I do. Okay, we have the daily chart. You first will need to get your vertical line, the line here, and place it on the last candle. On the last candle, today will be this one here, on the last candle. Looking at this candle, we have a downtrend, that's first of all, and this is just a pullback in the uptrend on the daily. It's not a trend reversal, it's a pullback for it to go more down, which it will go down. How do I know it's just a pullback, but the trend is a downtrend? We have a trend arrow here, and it's actually a powerful trend arrow. If you have these four together, you have the dots for a trend confirmation. We have a trend to tell you it's a downtrend. We have the dot for a trend confirmation. In this, if you were using the argument, this dot here will be the white arrow on the argument. In this system is the dot, but it's not always, the dot is not always there unless the trend of that day is so powerful. As we see here, look how that day went powerful all the way down, red. So if you was to trade this on that day, this how many pips you'll make? 221 pips. That's how powerful the trend is. And it continued down until we see this crosshair. It's telling us, oh, there's a pullback. Careful, pullback. So when I see this pullback, I know the trend is reversing. If I was trading here, I'll come off here and wait until I see the opposite side and take my trade all the way down until I see another green showing upward. This, like I said, is a very strong, I can honestly tell you guys, 110% accuracy win rate. Only if you follow its rules, it will give you those pips. So what are we looking for here? First, like I said, we put the line on the actual candle, not the trend, as you say here. The mistake that traders do, they will come on the daily, because here is going up, they will think on lower time frames also it will go up. That is not it. The trend on the higher time frame does not mean the trend is also the same on lower time frames. On higher time frames, we're looking at just the candle. Just the candle. If I was to trade on the daily chart, I will use the weekly to give me direction. I already know here, if I was to put my cursor, my vertical line on this arrow here, on this week, there, I know if I go back on the daily chart, all I have to do is look for the line, watch the trend go up. I know if I was to place my line here, I know on the daily chart we have an uptrend. We'd actually have an uptrend all the way. Okay, let's go confirm this. Let's place my arrow here. Sorry, my line here. Let's go back on the daily chart. Sorry, it does this all the time. Takes its time. Come on. There. We go on the daily chart, we look for the line. There. See? We actually have an uptrend. And the arrow that we saw on the weekly is actually here. There. See? There you go. Uptrend. I knew this. Why? Because the candles, it holds so many information as traders neglect. If it's red going down on the weekly, I know for this day here, okay, let's look for uptrend, but the red candle here. Okay, let's not use this one because here we already know, oh, he's using the cross. No, let's go where there's no cross. Let's go where there's no cross. There's actually no indicators that's telling me anything. Let's use this one because there's no cross. But we have a uptrend because the cross is telling us it's going up. But I know on this day is a downtrend. On this day is a downtrend on my 1 hour. If we go on the 1 hour chart to confirm it. So I had this problem again. So, yeah. There. Okay. Let's look for the line. Just let's see if there you go. The trend started here and it had down. It actually did a little pullback, but we had a downtrend. There. The trend was down for the whole day, the whole 24 hour. There, 24 hour before it shoot back up again. There's actually an arrow under here. Oh, there's a dot, even more powerful than the arrow. The arrow gives you a trend. Wait, be careful. There's going to be an uptrend. is powerful, then this, but this is also powerful if they all are three together. If this arrow was in between this, the trend will shoot up, heavily up. Here we have three confirmation. We have the vertex, pointing down, is very strong down below the -10. It always shoot up, and we have a dot. In this dot here, if you were using the argument, this will be the white arrow confirmation trade. This will be the trend reversal, but this will be the confirmation. But here, because the vertex is so powerful, it will give you the exact moment. Even if you didn't have the confirmation, the white arrow, you can trade the arrow because it goes up so many pips within that day. So the day started here, 24 hours later, 200 pips. So what I was looking for is actually not the actual trend on the daily. I was looking for a specific arrow. I'm sorry, a specific candle, whether it's bullish or bearish. If I know the candlestick is a bullish, I'm going to sell that day. Oh, how do you know the candle will be bullish if you don't know the day has not started yet? I know the candle will be bullish because this is why we have the crosses. This is why we have the crosses. There. This day here, last week, this is a new day on the 10th, sorry, the 2nd of the 10th. We had a good downtrend before we went up. We had a downtrend because on the daily, I have a bearish candle. I had a bearish candle, and then I knew whenever you see a cross, just know the next day is going to be a blue or a green. In my case, I have a blue going up, bullish. The color is never the same after the cross. Here, the cross showed on the red. The next color was the opposite color to where the candle is. And if the cross comes on the same color, just know it's going to be going down. I used to trade the crosses on the daily. Just trade the crosses. I don't enter on the arrow and wait for the next arrow because that is just a long whole 24 or 27 days. That's the whole month. And I don't keep my trades for the whole month. That's if I'm like, I don't want to trade or I'm super busy that whole month. I trade the candlesticks. Like I said, the trend on the daily is not the trend on the lower time frames. Don't ever make that mistake, or because the trend is going down or up on the higher time frame, that means the trend is also down or up on the lower time frame. I used to win. I used to use a lot of trades and a lot of money, a lot of pips. And when I discovered this strategy, the crosses, I was a winner. I was a winner. I never lost trade. Never up until today. The only time I'll lose trades if I place my stop loss anywhere below, or in this case above the cross. Now I've learned never to place my stop loss above the cross. Place it below the cross or below the arrow. Because if you place it below the cross, expect a pullback for it to go back up. In this case, in most cases, let's say I use this cross here as an example. If I was to place my stop loss right there, and I knew the trade was going to go up, I'm going to lose next hour. Oh, sorry, the next day. In this case, it was a daily. If I was trading the next hour, I'm going to lose on the next day because the trend, the arrow, it will do a little pullback and then shoot back up. But if I place my stop loss below or anywhere 10 pips or 5 pips below, I'm never gonna get stopped out. I'm actually gonna trail. If I'm not right now, I'm using the daily. I'm gonna trail the trend every 4 days. So I'll enter my trade on this blue. 1, 2, 3. I will move it up. I'll move it up by pips, not by candle. We move it back up by candle if we're using the 1 hour. I'll move it up by this much. 50 pips or what, 70 pips. Wait a couple more days. If the next candle is higher than the previous candle, I'll move it halfway towards that candle. So I don't have to do this. I just do this so I can secure my pips. Because news can, the only thing that can affect this strategy is the news. There's no other indicators or even the candle itself cannot affect this strategy because it's that powerful. Is that powerful? So let's go to the point. Today we're going to have a downtrend. So if you're trading all these pairs, the GBP pairs, or if you're not trading the GBP pairs, I advise you take the advantage. Go down, go sell it now. This is actually the good time to sell it as we're about to hit. So let's pick a day. Let's say we was here today, this day here. If I go to my hour, I know that day the market fell. We was bearish on that day. So what I did on that day, I sold on that day. Look at that. The market went down the whole day. Actually, 24 candles right there. It was down the whole day, which gave me 126 pips. It went down there. After 24 hours, the market went up. So my 24-hour candle would be this. The day change right there. Our market different. Is it the one? Yes. Our market blue. And if we go to the daily, we will see the exact day, the exact candle the blue line is going to be at. I was right. Let's go see it. Just give it time. There you go. It was a blue going up. And today we're going to have a good down candle right there. Why do I know this? Because the cross is above the actual candle. Whenever the cross appears above the actual candle, like it did here, go down. Like it did here, it will go down. Like it did here, it will go down. If you're wondering, does the cross ever repaint? No, the cross never repaints. Instead of repainting, it shows in the same trend maybe a couple of times, just to tell you pullbacks. It only shows up on a pullback or on a full trend if it has the arrow with it. These arrows are not the argument arrow. This arrow does not repaint and it will never will repaint because this arrow belongs to this super powerful system, the vertex system. So this here and this here, the arrow appeared here. Look how the day went. It went up. So we have a nice bullish trend up until 1, 2, 3, 4 days after the cross appeared there. I just know the market is gonna go down. The day has just started. After 24 hours, after the time finishes, we're gonna go down. It's probably going because it's already on a downtrend. It's probably gonna go lower than it is up to like there, up to like there, 300 pips. Why do I know 300 pips? Because I have a support and resistance line there. That will just give me a rough idea. This was the previous support and resistance. Oh, this was just the previous support and resistance right there. So either way, we're going to have a downtrend anyway, giving us this much. Yes, Hassan. Unmute and ask me the question.
Hey, okay. So as you were explaining the X's and crosses, I understood completely. I just wanted to ask because you said that these X's don't repaint, and I've unfortunately just been watching it. It did spike up like recently, the last 10, maybe 5 minutes ago, and I noticed the X was pushing up and pushing up. It kind of did repaint itself. I just wanted to make sure if this is like normal for it, if it does like scoot up.
Okay. The X expect it to push up. The Y I say expect. You see this X, for example, is only pushing up to form a pin.
Okay.
Right? Like right now, it's pushing up to form a pin for it to drop back down. Remember, the market goes up and down. It forms the pin first, the up pin. If it's going up, it's going to form the up pin first, then it's going to come down and form down pin, and then it's going to finish. So the X can push up, yes, but it will stay up if you're using the right time frame. Anything below here, below the 30, expect the X's to do some weird stuff.
I was in the 1 hour.
If you're using the 1 hour, the X will not jump from here to here. It will come, it will show on maybe next candle here, and then the next candle there, because remember, the X does zigzags. Zig, zag, zig, zag, zigzag. That's what the X does. It does not repaint. It's only going to push up to form a pin for it to form the whole body, and then for it to form the legs, and then it closes. And
Yeah,
then the
I guess what you have to do is wait for the candle to close.
yes,
Make sure the X
yes,
is really well marked in its place.
yes. That's why before you start trading for real, you observe the X's first. You think you observe the X. The X is working perfectly fine. Then you start trading it properly. Practice it before you put it in the real world, in a real work. I advise people to do that. So the template itself, it comes with the vertex, the crosses, the arrow, and the 13 moving average. Remember, I used to have the 5, 10, 20, and the 50. I got rid of that. I actually got rid of that last night after I discovered here this 13 moving average. Why the 13 moving average? Let's say we was on an uptrend here. Give me a confirmation when I start curving. Let's say I wanted to enter here and I missed this this entry. Instead of me waiting for this one, I will enter on the next candle that closes above the 13 moving average. Do you understand? I will wait until I see the candle that will close on the 13 moving average. Sorry, I have Good. Yes, I will wait. And then I will go up, down. It will probably shook you up a bit, but it will carry on up until you see this. As long as you have the arrow, you will go up. If you miss this trade here, be patient and be happy when you see a pullback. Because when you see a pullback, you will not wait longer for you to have another X below it. On a pullback, it does not wait. You don't have to wait more than, I don't know, if you was using an hour, you don't have to wait more than 3 hours or 4 hours for another cross to appear. I advise people, if you're not going to trade here, this is the safest way to enter your second trade. If I was to enter my first trade here, I'll enter my second trade here and carry on until I see the reversal. If you're not understanding this here, look at the powerful vertex. Look at the price action. Look what is happening whenever you see pin going up or a pin going down. Whenever you see a pin going up, is a reversal of the trend going up or down. Here, you see a pin above. A pin is a reversal of the trend going down. This can count as a pullback because we're not seeing an arrow, or we can count as a whole trend if the arrow was here, a downtrend. But I know this trend was a downtrend for a long time, even on the previous. Look, it was a downtrend for a long time because the arrow is above this pullback. So if I was to enter a trade here, even if I have a pullback here, I will still be in the trade. But the next pullback is going to be heavy down than the previous pullback until we go down a bit. We have the reversal, the full reversal happened there. These are not the argument arrow. These are not the argument arrow. The argument arrow repaints itself. This does not repaint itself. It doesn't even repaint itself on the lower time frames. That's how powerful it is. But on the argument, it repaints itself on the lower time frames. This, if it wants to stay there, it will stay there. It will stay there until the opposite candle comes out, the opposite arrow comes. It will stay there. Don't be scared to see even a little pullback. You're only going to see a little pullback, obviously, on the lower time frames. But on the higher time frames, you will not have, the arrow appear here, and then you see the market come down. It will probably going to come down, but it's not going to come not anywhere near on the same level as the cross for it to shoot back up. For example, here, you went up, you have a pullback. It did not come any lower than the previous, and then shot back up. Simple. Let's predict the future of the next, on the next month. What's going to happen the next month? Let me give you an example. Let's go on a monthly chart, on a weekly chart, for us to. Okay, we're going to go on a monthly chart for us to predict the future of the weekly. Right now on the weekly is telling me uptrend. We have an uptrend. Here, you will think, what happened here? The cross appeared here, but you see it was still going up. What happened? As long as you entered on the right time, the arrow with the vertex, this is just a pullback. It's probably going to pull back here. Forward to shoot back up. Remember, whenever you see this, this is how I know it will not repaint. Because if it was repainted, this is the highest point. It will appear here. It will appear here. But it stayed where it is. this is stayed where it at right now, because even if it goes up, if it's just forming a pin right now, it's just forming a pin because it's a new candle and it's gonna shoot back down for my little pullback, then for it to shoot back up because this is a uptrend. I know the next week here, the candle that would appear here will be a bearish candle. Sorry. Yeah. So let's use the yellow line. The candle that would appear here will be a bearish candle because we waited for 2 weeks for the red arrow to come. It didn't come. So I predict the bearish candle on the next one to form. And the pullback, so the trend reverse, it will not be anywhere near or above the previous one. So if you had a trend reverse there, the trend reversal will probably happen somewhere here. And it's gonna go down and it's gonna shoot back up. And then it's gonna probably go higher than the previous one, like it did here. So if we do have a downtrend, which we will, because I know we will, on a daily, expect the daily to also be a downtrend. Once the daily trend is on downtrend, the candle on the daily chart, the last candle on the daily chart will determine if the whole day on 1 hour will be either bearish or bullish. Don't follow the trend. Here it says up. I guarantee you on the daily you will say either down. Don't follow the trend. Don't think because he says up on the lower time frame it will also be an uptrend. Maybe, but it's not always the case. We come on the daily, we see a downtrend. The RSA, we see a downtrend. When I said most traders will be, hey, we're going down on this time frame, or we're going up on this time frame. Let's also go up on the time frame below. Just good. I think the session is going to end in 4 minutes. I don't know why. Oh, it has a timer. Yeah. Is there something you can do about it?
Yeah, we could just start like a brand new one again, and then we'll have like more time. So maybe in that session we could, when you're done talking about this, if you could talk about like the London Breakout Strategy, which was incredible.
Yes. Okay. The next one we'll do. I'm sure. I hope you guys understand this one.
Oh yeah, this one's awesome.
Yes. If this is a new template which I sent to Aaron not a long time ago. It actually comes together. So instead of me sending you indicators like I did last time, I can just send you the whole templates with everything with it. I created this one today.
Yeah, I already installed it and everything.
Yeah, I'll email it to you later on.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Fine. So let's start a new one. I'll do the London breakout. The breakout one. Can you do it, please, Jessica?
Yeah. We could do that. So I mean, I could just end this one, and then it'll be the same link that I sent you. My Zoom won't change.
Yes. Let's do that.
Okay. All right. So everybody, I'll just press the same Zoom link, and we'll be back on.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.